You guys want single rotations? I got them. Double rotations, got those too. And triple rotations, guys, was just easy. And of course, we got some crazy throws too. So let's just get into it. The World Axethrowing League Corporal Throwing Axe. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Wes, the Suburban Viking. Of course, we got Dave here with us. Say hey, Dave.
Hello, everyone.
And we are Midgard Axe. And we're getting into the World Axethrowing League Corporal Throwing Axe. Yep, this handle's jacked up. We all know that. They don't half them the greatest. They don't, okay? We've already covered that. However, you can thank Whiskey River because Whiskey River makes these wooden dowels. If you guys haven't seen them, go check them out. Instead of using steel barrel wedges, you can use these wooden dowels. Or if you get an axe that has a steel barrel wedge in it and you take it out and you got that huge hole, you can shove one of these wood dowels in it. It does really well. And of course, guys, we shoved two wooden dowels up at the top to splay it over because this head just kept moving down and down and down on the handle, which is something that we always run into with the World Axethrowing League hafting jobs. But before we get into how this thing flew in the air, how great of a flying axe, yes, how great of a flying axe this is, I'm going to hand it over to Dave, and he's going to give you the specs on this throwing axe.
The Corporal comes with a 1045 carbon steel axe head. The bit has a length of 4 inches, and I must say, it stays very sharp. The handle is American hickory and measures at 17 inches. Flip a coin because that's the chances you have of getting a good or bad handle. Total weight is 2 pounds and 3 ounces. However, our scale says 2 pounds and 7.5 ounces. This axe is the heaviest of all of the World Axethrowing League axes we have thrown. Hopefully we didn't invest our money into a giant paperweight.
So what I think about the Corporal design-wise, this thing is really cool. We got some chevrons here for the rank of Corporal. It does have an interesting little beard right here. Straight design up at the top with a nice bit. The bit came very sharp, okay? I was a little concerned how this thing was going to fly because we do have an extremely fat pole right here. As you can see, we got a lot of weight here and a lot of weight here. However, I will tell you guys that the World Axethrowing League finally produced, I know it's been out for a while, I'm just saying with my experience, has produced a heavy-headed throwing axe that is good for all-around axe throwing. And I'm talking up close and personal, and then I took this thing back for triple rotations. So let's get into how well this thing flew for a single rotation. Okay, so this thing right here, guys, is heavy. When I said earlier that they made a really heavy-headed axe that throws really well, this is one of the heaviest World Axethrowing League axe heads that I've thrown. Now, on the website, it says this thing comes in at 2 pounds and 3 ounces. But on my scale, guys, this thing came in at 2 pounds and 7.5 ounces. This thing is pretty heavy for as little of a head as it is, okay, compared to the other axe heads that they make. Now, what I did is how I told you guys before, how I like chopping the handles down. I chopped the handle down on this one and I got it down to 15 3/4 inches. However, as we started throwing, the head started to move down and down and down. So I had to splay the top over with those wooden dowels. We got down to 15 1/4 inches. Okay. But I will tell you guys, this thing was awesome at a single rotation. And I'm not just saying that. Now, it is heavy, and you're going to have to preload this weight up to get it out of your hand. But once you do, man, this thing is great at a single rotation. We were sinking all the way to the chevrons. As you can see here, we got wood in the actual chevrons that are inside the axe head here. They're kind of recessed in there. So we had wood all up in this area here. So this thing hits with some force at a single rotation. Now, I did stand and threw moderately into the target, had no issues hitting bullseye over and over again. Of course, after that, I kind of did some power throws into the target and then, kind of set up and, put my back to the target, flipped around and threw really hard in the target. I was not letting up on this thing. I really wasn't, especially up front with the big log. I kind of came in, threw the axe up in the air, grabbed it, spun around and threw really hard. This thing is awesome for a single rotation. Flew really well out of the hand. Like I said, you're going to feel that weight when you throw this thing up. But man, once you release it, it has a very clean release and it smashes in the target. So this thing is great for a single rotation. I will say it took a little time getting used to throwing this thing for a single rotation. It did. I wasn't expecting this thing to be as heavy as it was. So when I was kind of preloading the weight, getting it up to throw it, I did notice that I had a lot of arm drag at first because I was trying to drag this axe head, forward to throw it hard. But I kind of had to shorten my throw just a little bit and not go back as far, kind of here, and here like this. Once I did that, guys, I was extremely accurate with power and consistency at a single rotation. So I don't know what to tell you guys other than they made a great heavy axe head that is really accurate at a single rotation, and it flies a hell of good in the air. So if you're wondering if the Corporal's good at a single rotation, it is, and it hits really hard too. Now, of course, with this weight, guys, I was thinking when I got back to double rotations, let's see how this thing flies for a double rotation. No issues at all. I had no issues at all throwing this thing for a double rotation. It was really clean out of the hand. I thought the weight was going to hinder me. It didn't at all. Double rotations felt exactly the same as a single rotation. I was able to set up and give it a nice long drawn out throw and get it to hit bullseye. It hit where I was aiming at. This thing was just awesome at a double rotation. I was able to put my back to the target, kind of spin around and throw, which I do enjoy doing that. When I put my back to the target, spin around and throw, it lets me kind of feel the weight because I'm not setting up, looking at the target and, kind of getting ready for my throw. It's just flip around, throw really fast. And I noticed that I can judge axe head weight really well doing that throw. No issues with this thing at all doing that. It felt really good out of the hand. So a double rotation is really, really good. Now, you are going to have to throw some weight on this thing, and you're going to have to power up to throw it a little bit more than you will with some of the other World Axethrowing League axe heads. But once you manage this thing at a double rotation, it smashes really hard in the target. We were sinking almost exactly the same amount of depth as we were at a single rotation. I didn't notice any loss of penetration when I was sticking in a double rotation. So guys, this thing was just a nightmare at double rotations too. Single rotations, double rotations. What do you think, Dave? All the rotations, right?
I am about deaf from that thing smashing so hard.
That's right, buddy. That's right. This thing, guys, is just nasty. And you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Wes, you got singles down, you got doubles down. What about crazy throws? Of course, I threw this thing crazy. And I will tell you guys, this thing was very versatile. I was able to throw it, not only throw it for a single and double rotation, but when I started getting crazy at a single rotation, the weight kind of just took over. It really did. And I was able to kind of stand at a double rotation and do my side throw, hit bullseye. I was able to do spinning back throws with this thing at a single rotation. Almost every trick throw that I tried to do, I was able to do it really fast, and it felt easy to do. And I think it was just the weight. Now, it is a little bit harder to do because it is such a heavier head than all the other axes that I dealt with the World Axethrowing League. However, with that shorter handle, it brings the weight closer to your hands, so you're able to manage the weight a lot easier, especially for those trick throws. And guys, this thing was a hell of a lot of fun throwing it for, spinning back throws and side throws and all the other throws I did with this thing, trying to be crazy with it. I was able to do with no issues. So this thing not only did well at a single and double, but for crazy throws or trick throws, this thing would be great for that too. Triple rotations. What'd you think about it? This thing threw the best at a triple rotation. And that's why this axe is probably one of my favorite axes that the World Axe Throwing League produces. It is extremely heavy. And when I took it back to triple rotations, guys, I had to put some heft behind my throw to get it there because it was a lot of weight, you know, coming back and coming forward. However, I will say, you know, when I was coming back with the weight and I was coming forward, I didn't feel like it was heavier here more so than it was back here. It felt really consistent out of the hand at a triple rotation. Guys, this thing was super dumb easy at triple rotations. I'm just being honest. I was hitting bullseye after bullseye after bullseye after bullseye over and over and over again. It just got to the point where it just started getting kind of boring because I was able to hit so cleanly and so well at a triple rotation. This thing flies really well for distance. And I was really concerned at a double with the weight, guys, but the World Axe Throwing League has produced a heavy-headed throwing axe that can do everything. If you've got the ability to throw it that far and you can muscle up and throw this heavier head, you can get a lot of different dynamic throws with it, long distance throws with it, double rotations. It just does it all. And when you hit, no matter where you stand, it's hitting hard and it's penetrating deep. At a triple rotation, guys, this thing was sinking just a tad bit less than it was at a double. I did notice that, but it was still hitting hard. I mean, it was smashing the target. So guys, I don't know what to say about this thing other than it is awesome for everything. I had a really good time with it. I was out here now. It is 4:17 in the afternoon. I started around 12:30ish. So I've been throwing it now for about 4.5 hours. And I was just smashing all day long. I don't even think I need to throw this for a second day to give you an honest opinion and say, oh, I need to test it more, because it was awesome the first day I threw it. And I turned the camera on and said, let's just record. Didn't need any more. So guys, the Corporal, if you're looking for something versatile that you can stand at a single rotation, maybe do some competition throws because you don't have to throw it hard to stick it, but you want to go back to triple rotations, you want to do crazy stuff, this thing is awesome. If you guys didn't watch the last video, I told you about the sale that the World Axe Throwing League was having on the Ace of Spades, the Butcher, the Corporal, and the Bad Axe. Guys, I would go run out and buy the Corporal right now if you can. It's on sale. You can get it pretty cheap. Most Black Friday shopping deals from last year. It's totally worth it. I told you guys that I went ahead and bought another Ace of Spades because I'm going to do something special with that one in a future video. And I bought a bunch of handles. I know you're probably thinking, Wes, why did you buy the World Axe Throwing League handles? I will tell you this. I think I can make them work. With the way that I haft, I think I can make them work. And I haven't had a chance to take a blank World Axe Throwing League handle and haft it on one of their heads yet. So I ordered like 4 or 5 of them. And I ordered one for this one. So we're going to get rid of this handle and put another handle on this one and haft it. And I'm going to haft it the way I haft axes, and I think I can make them work. And if they work, I'll show you guys what I did, and I'll tell you how I did it. So that way, if you're breaking handles, you can order some of their handles because they're supposed to fit really easy on these heads. And I'll show you how I do it, and then you can get back out to throwing, and you don't have to source another handle for them because they're supposed to mate up pretty well with the axe head eyes. So I guess we're going to have to just get them to the house, haft them on these axe heads, and see if they hold up. I think they will. And one last thing before we get out of here, I did put my own edge on it. This thing is still really sharp. So this thing held its edge really well, like most of them do. I've had nothing but success with the way the bits come holding their edge. And then when I put my own edge on it, it's even sharper. And the Corporal was no different, guys. No different at all. Of course, we had some breakage on the handle there, which is kind of common for these World Axe Throwing League axes. However, we're going to test the handles that come in, haft them the way that I haft axes, and see if they still hold on there. Dave, you got any final words, buddy?
We might have to give Loki the Ace of Spades when it comes in. The idiot threw that competition, throwing axe for weeks before he realized we had better axes. Now he is trying to steal Freya from me if I don't give him a better axe.
Any guy,
So I have to pay up.
So that's it, guys. That's the end of the video. I really do appreciate everything everybody does to make this channel what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're up to 4,000 subscribers now on YouTube. That is awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you. Me and Dave are always putting in a lot of time and effort on this channel, trying to think of things to do that we think you guys might want to watch, and giving you knowledge that, you know, I can come out here and test and give you guys real information on these axes, because nobody owns me, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on whether or not these things are good flyers or not, and if they're crap or if they're great. So you can always expect that from me. But until next time, guys, see ya.
All right, Loki, you can have the ace of spades. So we are even now. But if we have issues again, I will have Freya's cat's pee in your cornflakes. So don't test me.